Hi, this is Holly from the Sweet Simple Things, and welcome to my channel where we make healthy and nourishing recipes the whole family will love. Make sure you hit subscribe to see all the latest recipes. Today we're going to make a chocolate peanut butter swirl Ninja Creami, and I'm really excited to show you how to do this. It's really pretty simple. We're going to make up our peanut butter base and our chocolate base, and we're going to freeze them in sections. It sounds confusing, but it's not. You're making two creamies and dividing them in two. I'll show you how you do it here. So I'm starting by making my peanut butter base. I have a video where I go into more depth on how I make my peanut butter ice cream, but there's also a link in the description to the recipe. So I'm not going to get into that too much here because my focus is on how to make this a flavor swirl. Now, you can always just mix all the flavor together and just do one flavor, but I've never liked doing that because I feel like I can't actually taste the individual flavors. I like the swirl because when the chocolate and the peanut butter are separate but together, it's like I can actually taste them both. I don't know if anyone else feels that way. But anyway, a lot of people say you can't do more than one flavor in a Ninja Creami pint, and I'm going to show you how you actually can do that. Now, I want to be clear, this is a home ice cream machine. It's not a professional food factory. So is it going to be perfect? No, it's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be great and you're going to love it. So after you make your peanut butter base, you make your chocolate base. Again, I have the recipe link in the description for this. And ultimately what you're going to do is we're going to have to pour out half of each of these into a little container to stick in the fridge for a few hours while the bottom half solidifies in the freezer. Another way you could do this is just make the peanut butter one first, divide it in two containers, and then put it in the freezer for like 5 hours or so, and then go ahead and make the chocolate one at that time, and just do it in like a bowl or a jar. I've done it in like a quart-sized mason jar that is wide mouth so I can fit my immersion blender in there. And then you just pour half of that mixture on top of each of the frozen halves of peanut butter. But here I'm kind of doing it the efficient way where I make both at once, because once I get all my ingredients out, I know you guys probably feel this way too. You don't want to have to get them all out again later. There's a lot of stuff that goes into these. So I'm going to make one that has peanut butter on the bottom, one that has chocolate on the bottom. But I'm going to tell you, if like getting the perfect flavor swirl is your goal, you're going to want to do it so peanut butter is on the bottom for both. For some reason, I've just had better luck with the lighter color on the bottom. I think it's probably because the bottom just doesn't get mixed as like vigorously as the top half. Anyway, so this is what it's like a few hours later after you get the bottom half frozen. You can pour in from the fridge your top half, and I think I used coconut milk in my chocolate mixture here, so it does look a little bit like pudding after it's been in the fridge for a few hours, but it's pretty good. So you just get that in there, and then you're going to stick these back in the freezer and let them get fully frozen for 24 hours. Here's that other way you can do it I was talking about, where you just make one flavor at a time and then make like the chocolate one to go in the fridge to pour later. And yes, I know that looks gross. I use coconut milk for this particular batch, and that turns just like pudding in the fridge for a couple hours. So anyway, here we are. We're going to spin it on light ice cream. I'm showing you what it's like with the peanut butter flavor on the bottom here because I think that turns out the best. But I'll also spin the other one too so you can see what it's like when your lighter layer's on top. Okay, so this is after one spin. I always give it a peek, but we're going to do a respin. Now, for making separate flavors like this, it is very important that you do not add liquid at the respin. Do not try to turn this into a soft serve texture. I know soft serve texture is like really popular in Ninja Creami world, but you want to keep this pretty firm because if it turns soft, you're not going to have two different flavors. You're going to have one mixed up flavor. Okay, so now we'll scoop it out and you can kind of see how it turned out here. There you see the flavor swirl. You can see clearly that they're separate peanut butter and chocolate flavor. Now that's not to say that there isn't some blending in the middle especially. There is a little bit that does get blended together. Like I said, this is a home kitchen. This is not an ice cream factory with perfect equipment. We're just doing the best we can, but it does turn out surprisingly well. But again, I recommend doing this with my recipe because I have a firm ice cream base recipe. I don't have a soft serve style one, and I just don't think this is going to work with the soft serve style recipes that are common out there. I think you're going to need to keep it pretty firm, otherwise it's just going to mush together. But anyway, this is just, it's super fun. I actually do a tricolor one. I should get this up here. I make my kids like a homemade Superman ice cream. I don't know if you've ever had that, but it's, you know, red, yellow, blue, like Superman. And it's like a tutti frutti kind of flavor. It's really popular in the Midwest. My kids love it. Whenever we go up north, we get it at the little ice cream shop there. And I make one of those at home too. I'll have to get that up on the blog. That one's not a protein ice cream, but it's a homemade one for my kids. Anyway, there you have it. I'll show you next what it turns out like when you put the peanut butter on top. So as you can see, the peanut butter color is a little more gray. Like I said, with the top part getting just mixed a little more vigorously, it does get a little more of the blending from the bottom there. So that's why I say for perfect color swirls, I would, and maybe color swirl is not the right term because it doesn't really swirl, it's just two separate colors. But anyway, for the two separate colors to stay that way, put peanut butter on the bottom. But anyway, you can still tell that there's two flavors going on. So have fun making this.